5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Between the Frames podcast. It has been a fucking long time since we've done this.
It's actually disgusting.
It is genuinely not okay.
Gross,
hey guys, we're all starting a podcast. Boom.
Yeah,
makes
not
4
upload
episodes.
for like 2 years.
That's alright.
Yeah,
Blame it on COVID.
yeah, we're back, and that's good. But yeah, well, first of all, I guess we should just plug where this podcast is on all the platforms. It's on where I forgot how the spiel goes again, but it's on Google Podcasts, it's on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher,
Spotify.
I mean,
Spotify,
the thing is, if you're
YouTube.
listening to this, you're already
Yeah.
listening to it.
Yeah, that is true.
That's why I don't actually understand that segment.
No, it's
what's
just-
the point of
I
that?
It's
always
just
shut
so-
the fuck up then because I also don't understand.
I don't
It's just so
understand.
people know all the different platforms. So maybe if someone's watching on YouTube, they know they can listen to this on Spotify or their own streaming service they want to listen to.
But if you have Stitcher, just like shut
yeah,
the fuck up.
I also don't understand why people want to use Stitcher.
Bro, honestly, if you use Stitcher, just fucking stop listening to this fucking podcast.
You're not allowed. We do stream there, but you're not allowed to listen to it.
It exists.
Fucking get a
But-
Spotify account like
Yeah.
a normal human being.
Yeah,
Right though. Like,
you're not wrong. Yeah.
Oh,
So
bro, yeah.
you know what? I'm just
Sorry.
gonna plug the main ones:
Yeah, you go,
Spotify,
you go.
Google, and Apple. Those are the 3 ones you should actually listen to, not anything else.
I
But yeah.
listen to Stitcher.
Yes.
So yeah.
What do we want to talk about today exactly?
I think we should just.
We
I've
should
written.
recap.
I've written a brief little some topics we can talk about. I guess we should start off with what we've been up to, like the past couple of months, like
Update.
where we've been. So we've been
touring.
in Candace. Actually, if you don't know who Candace is, it's our what is it? A Chrysler Grand Voyager XL, or is it just a Grand
I
Voyager?
think Grand Voyager, one of
Yeah,
those.
something like that.
Yeah.
With
Something
Liam's face on
terrible.
it.
Yeah, the boys, specifically Mike, printed my face like 1 by 1 meter on the front of our fucking car. We've been driving it for the past 2 months. We've done a fat Europe trip, and like we've been in Turkey with this car, and it's had my face on it. And these Turkish people are just looking at the face. They're like, "What is that?" And they look up at me driving, and then they make the connection, and they're just confused.
Oh, we should
Yeah.
take it a step back as well because we've had to drive through borders. I had to drive through the Turkish border from Greece, and they're all standing there with their like M14s, just like looking at the car.
Yeah.
And at that point, we also lost third gear. We
Oh,
lost
yeah.
every
Yeah.
gear.
Yeah, sorry,
And
I
they-
skipped way too far ahead.
No, it's fine. No,
Yeah.
it's right. That's the hook.
Yeah, that's the hook.
Bring it in.
All right,
to the
bring it
story.
back.
All right.
No, okay, because you guys weren't there on that because we went to. I flew back to Athens to continue the road trip because we all did like a little. After 2 months of being, or a month being on the road, Liam had some family in Italy, so you went to Italy.
Yep.
I came back to see Faye and her family in the Netherlands, and Chris went somewhere else to a different island with his family as well.
Yeah.
So we all split off for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. And
And
I
then
was still in Australia.
And you were still in
Melbourne.
Australia, yeah. So I've then flew back after 2 weeks and met Chris in Athens, but you were going to meet us in Turkey, and you were going to meet us in Turkey. So
Yeah.
it was Chris and myself's job to get the car from Athens to Istanbul. And we're going to do it over 2 days because it's like 15 hours of driving or whatever. If you were to follow the speed limit, it's 15 hours of driving. But we got like an hour into like the first drive from Athens, and we're going to drive 6 hours to Thessaloniki, which is the next city in Greece. And yeah, we get onto the freeway, and all of a sudden I go pay for the tollway, and I start shifting gears to get whatever up to the 5th gear, and then I just lose every gear. Like I just hear a fucking thing just like
Yeah,
snaps.
but how did it happen though? Because I wasn't there. So like,
Yeah.
what? You're just shifting normally, and then it
Just like as you would, just your first gear, you get some speed, and then I go into 3rd gear, and I just lose it. Like it just got like the gearbox literally just fucking falls out like a cock, fucking flopping out, just like it
Wait,
went
so-
all floppy.
Wait, so it goes into gear, but you just don't feel anything.
I
Is
can't
that-
even. No,
is
it's
that
like
how
yes,
you describe it?
yes. It's like it went into gear, and then the gear stick itself went floppy. Like you could just move it around. Like there was something like a linkage or something that just literally snapped. And so it was. I literally freaked out. And I stepped off the accelerator, and I was like coasting for a bit, and I was like, Chris, we just lost all of our gears. He's like, you're fucking joking, because this has already happened to us because our clutch went, and that light just went as well. Not that anyone even watches this on
Yeah,
YouTube.
fucking
Anyway,
whatever.
Well,
no, we lost all the gears basically, and we were still in a gear. I think we were still in 4th or 5th gear, but it wasn't. We couldn't change gears, so we actually managed to get it back into 3rd gear because it would go into gears, but It just
The
was very
point is
difficult.
the gearbox broke.
Yes,
Yeah.
the point is
Yeah.
the gearbox broke. I wasn't sure like if you guys were understanding or like what the fuck.
Yeah,
This is a lesson on gearboxes. And
Anyway,
Mikey
yeah.
fucking
No, yeah, the transmission fucking mechanic over here.
Yeah.
No, so the gearbox went and we basically had to rock up to every toll station pushing the car. And I also couldn't get out to help because we had to keep the car in third gear. So I had my foot on the clutch, keeping it basically in a forced neutral.
Yeah.
And then Chris had to get out and fucking push our 2-ton fucking van through the tollways with Liam's face on the front of it.
What were they thinking? Like, what were they looking? Like, the security, were they looking at you? Did they ask questions? at any point?
No one asked. No one helped. Everyone just looked. They looked at your face. They probably thought we had some sort of clown car or some shit. Like a bunch of us were just going to start like coming out.
Yeah.
Like 20 people coming out.
Yeah.
No, anyway, so we decided it's probably best that we just send it. We have one working gear. We need to get to a main city. We were going to stop off in Thessaloniki, but the thing is, if we approach a single hill, it would be enough to end us. Because if we didn't have enough power to get up the hill in third gear, we're done. And it almost happened to us. We had to stop off for fuel, and there was a big hill to get out of it. No fucking street race out of it. I'm like tires screeching out of the fuel station to get as much power out of this fat bitch as I can.
Fat bitch Candace.
Fat bitch Candace trying to get up the hill, and it's like
huge.
glugging up the hill. I'm like, come on, Candace. Me and Chris like in the car, like bopping, like trying to get as much gravity in the car as possible.
Yeah.
Somehow managed to get this car up a hill in third gear with
then
like
you drove
barely
it
any run up. Back
all
into the
the way.
freeway. And then, we sent it. And we could only really go like 80 Ks an hour as well. Because third gear, like, I was sort of, you're sitting at like 4,000 RPM. The car revs out to 5,000. I'm not going to sit there at like red line. So you have to like sort of bring it back a bit. Anyway, it took us like, I think 18 hours to drive. And we did it in one go. So we watched the sunset and rise in one go.
Wasn't it just you driving as well?
And it was just me driving because I was getting a feeling for the car.
Yeah.
And Chris was getting really good at pushing him through tollway.
Dude, Chris would have got a bloody workout from that.
It would.
Yeah, he was. No, we were hyped the whole way.
Yeah, and then you and Chris drove to Turkey in one go pretty much.
In one go with one gear.
With one gear in third gear going a
He's
max
not
speed of
okay.
like 80 Ks an hour for 17 hours. And then we met you, me, Limon.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
yeah,
both
this is the
met
next
you.
part of the story.
There's the
Holy
next
fuck.
part.
God.
So we're in Turkey. We
In
get
Istanbul.
there. Limon's like just come here from traveling, like from being in lockdown. This is like your first travel experience. You're
This is
like,
my first
2
travel
years,
experience
3 years
in
maybe.
2.5 years or something. It's crazy. And then, because like I feel like the distance from Melbourne to Turkey was so long. It took me 30 hours. 30
about
hours
right.
to get to Turkey. Like I had to stop over from Melbourne to Sydney, then transfer over internationally to Malaysia, and then finally Malaysia to Turkey. So that was
It's a
big
mission,
trip. It's a mission traveling anywhere from Australia.
yeah, and all that. So Limon gets there, and we're like, fuck yeah. Like we almost got all the boys together. Like it was me, Mike, Chris, but we're missing Hayden.
Yeah.
Like, we need Hayden. He's the last piece. But we're like, cool. We're all the boys pretty much in Istanbul. And it comes day one, we go explore. Day two, we explore again, take some photos, get a feel of where we're staying at. And then fast forward to day four, I'm
And
pretty sure.
Gunshots go off.
Yeah, day
outside.
three actually. Day three.
Gunshots go off
Yeah.
outside our apartment.
Like
and I
literal
thought,
gunshots.
I actually thought at first it was like some metal sheets or something. And
I
I'm like,
thought the same thing as well.
and I'm like, but who the fuck's like what throwing metal sheets? Like it,
Yeah.
and there was like a fair few gunshots. There was like 6.
Yeah, it was like
6
bang, bang, bang,
bang, bang, yeah. And then we go down out like after we're like hungry or whatever, so we go out to get some food, and there's like a whole like crime scene that's happened,
Yeah.
like literally outside our apartment.
Like the
Yeah,
police
literally just
detective
off the road.
tape, like police
Everything.
officers holding like those big M4A ones. I don't know, it's just from COD, but whatever. Big assault rifle.
Yeah,
Fuck, I want to play COD now.
Yeah, we just stopped the podcast. We just all go play COD.
Like, imagine.
No, anyway, so that happened. So that should have been the sign to leave.
Yeah, that really should have been the sign to just pack our bags and
Yeah.
leave.
On
But
night 3.
no, we decided to stay one more night, and then I had a very rude awakening.
Yeah, explain that story.
Yeah, so it was crazy. And what was so insane as well was our body schedule was so messed up
Yeah.
that both of you two and Chris had just fallen asleep roughly at 5:30 a.m.
We were going to bed like 5:36, like sunrise. We were going to bed. Like, don't
it
ask
was-
why. We
it
just were.
wasn't okay. I was somehow a little bit normal, despite being jet lagged. I went
Yeah.
to sleep at 2 a.m. Right, these boys were awake at 5:30, and right as they fell asleep, it's dead quiet, right? And we're sleeping, and I hear my water bottle knock over, and I'm like, what? And like I just have a feeling, oh, someone's in my room. It's like, oh, one of the boys is in my room. Maybe they're trying to get my attention or ask me something, right? And I'm like, why the fuck are they doing that? But okay, cool. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I open my eyes and I look over, and I just like, I don't really see anything, but I just see someone just at the foot of my bed, just hunched over.
So fucked.
And I'm just like, why would any of the boys do that? Like, are they playing a prank on me? What the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
So I get up, I have a proper look at him. The dude stands up, and it's just fucking small Turkish dude holding onto my laptop. I just see my SSDs fucking dangling, falling off, alright? And I'm just looking at him, and he looks back at me. I'm just like, what the fuck? And he just bolts out. He runs out, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, I put two and two together. We just got robbed.
Holy fuck.
The
yeah.
man just stole my fucking computer, right? And so I go chase after him as well, right? But as he's like gone past this, gone outside and going down the stairs, I see my bag that he's placed at the front of the door, and I'm like, oh shit! So I quickly grab my bag first and place it back inside the house.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I'm just shook. Like,
Yeah, of course.
I'm in
And
shock.
you just woke up.
I just woke up. I'm still tired.
You probably think it's a dream.
I've had like 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Not
what
even,
the fuck?
yeah.
It was crazy. And then Chris gets out. He hears the commotion. And then he looks at me. He's like, what's going on? And I'm like, dude, I think we just got robbed. And he's like, what the fuck? And then we look around, and then we're like, oh shit, they took Mike's laptop, because Mike was uploading footage.
And had it next to the router.
Yeah,
next
which
to
was
the router,
like
which was in the living room.
Yeah, right where the door is. And
Yeah.
Chris's film camera, which is on the table as well.
Yeah. So all in all, what we figured out what got stolen was my wallet, my laptop, Mike's laptop, my watch as well, and Chris's film camera.
And a gimbal.
And a gimbal.
A gimbal that we rented from a friend that was just sitting on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That's so bad. Like, yeah.
I don't know how he managed to carry all this shit. Maybe he did 2 trips and maybe
Or-
there was someone downstairs
Yeah,
waiting.
what I think maybe he opened the door somehow, because the other thing is, which was suspicious, is this Airbnb we were staying at was 4 levels high with no elevator, so you had to walk up 4 flights of stairs, and the door was a big door, and it didn't even have like a
There's no handle at the front.
There's
you
no
have to have a
handle.
key to unlock it.
Yeah, so you have to have a key. You can't like slide anything in the side of it. Like, it's got the guard over the door jam, so there's no way of getting in unless you have a key. So that's suspicious as well. But yeah, luckily the main thing is none of us were hurt or anything, because that definitely could have been a possibility. Like if the robber had a knife or a gun, because we literally heard gunshots in our neighborhood. So
The night before.
It's pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
So anyway, we're all good. Insurance will sort everything else out. We've got new things that are replaced. Most of what we lost.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate
Yeah,
about
exactly.
obviously Limon's hard drives, and a film camera can't really be replaced as well. But it could have been worse. Like he could have taken your passport, which would have been stuck. We'd probably still be fucking stuck in Turkey.
Yeah,
I
probably.
wouldn't be surprised. I reckon Chris got super close to getting his passport stolen.
Yeah, because it was he had that
He had-
satchel hanging
Yeah,
up there.
The satchel was hanging
So
right
lucky.
next to the door. He got so lucky.
Yeah,
with
Chris's satchel, literally with all of his shit, was like right next to the door. I'm surprised he didn't see it. I reckon the robber just didn't see it,
Yeah.
because if
It
he
was
had
dark,
seen
yeah.
it,
It was
it
dark,
was
yeah.
like, oh, that had all his shit in it.
Oh, that
Yeah.
would have been terrible.
Yeah, that was.
But yeah, main thing is we're
We're
all
safe.
good.
It was good.
It's an experience. Now we get to tell a cool story on
Yeah,
the
Exactly.
podcast.
Great story. We lost our robbery virginity.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Legit.
Speaking of virginity, I'm getting better at segues. I'm practicing my segue. That's been a
Yeah.
recent thing I'm doing. Anyways, speaking of virginity, do you guys want to try some pickles? Yeah,
Don't know, never done it
What kind of
before.
fucking
That's
segue is that?
that is the shittest segue. What the fuck was that?
Like, what does virginity have anything to do?
I don't
with
know, like a
pickles?
pickle, like in the fucking pickle, you know? Stick your pickle in.
You're on your own for that one.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, that's-
Come on, boys. Support me. Support me. Oi. Fucking
Hey, laugh.
someone.
Come on,
You
laugh.
support me. Support me. Ah,
Sorry,
fuck.
I can't do it this time. Sorry.
But yeah, pretty much we've been
I'll go get
staying
'em.
Yeah.
The boys and I have been living in the Netherlands for the past like 3 weeks now. After our sort of Euro trip driving around, we've been living in the Netherlands and we've been cooking for ourselves, going shopping, and we've really loved pickles. But I think we've become a bit of a pickle connoisseur because we've actually found out what shopping centres and what supermarkets specifically and which brands have the best, most crunchiest, flavoursome pickles.
That is true.
We have found out that it is from Jumbo, which is a supermarket here in the Netherlands. Jumbo have their own brand, which is called Zoet Zuur. How do you say it, Faye? Zuur.
It's not the brand, it's the taste.
Oh, it's a taste. Okay. Well, it's a Jumbo brand, and the taste is Zuur. I don't know. It's all in Dutch, but they're fucking good. And we put them in the freezer because we realised that the colder the pickles are, the crunchier they are, and the crunch is like one of the best parts. So Mike's he's picking up the pickle out, giving it a little dab. Go for it, Mike. Nice into the mic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good one.
good one. All right,
That's really
Limon
good.
next. Limon's dipping his fork in there, swindling around. Oh, a little tap. We got a little pickle. We got a little pickle, bro.
There's a small Asian pickle. No, the big one.
He wants a big one.
That's a
That's a
curved one.
What's a fucking Persian fucking pickle?
Persian. Where did Persian come
I
from?
don't know. That's a good one. That's an Aussie pickle. No.
Good enough.
All right.
That was good crunch. Sounds fake.
That sounds literally fake. All right.
Like he's to bite into it really slowly.
Okay, I've got a pickle. I would say it's a pretty decent pickle. It's like a wog pickle. It's a good size. Not the longest, but it's got some girth. It's all right. All right, ready?
They're good. Let's all do it
really
together.
good.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Yum.
Okay. So the trick is buy them and refrigerate them for a bit, and then we put this one in the freezer for like 40 minutes, and they got really crunchy, and we took it out.
Yeah.
Intermission. I have more there.
All right. So
What else?
the only other thing I had in these notes was what we've been up to: travel stories, pickles, and then V3 presets.
Yeah, we can segue into V3 after we talk about maybe some content and how we're feeling.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's true. Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
All right.
We'll just go around in a circle. So
Right.
maybe, after our pickle intermission, I think this podcast, obviously, we haven't podcasted in a while.
No.
Yeah.
So usually how we do it is we pick like a few topics and stuff, but this is purely just to talk some shit, get back into it,
Check in
and
with the boys.
check in, see how you're doing. How you feeling, Limon, after all this? That's pretty fucking wild ride. You come overseas. This is my perspective of your trip so far, if you want to hear it.
Yeah.
You come overseas to start working on your own brand and business because you just finished university,
Yeah.
right? You come over, you get fucking robbed.
Yeah.
And you're already struggling trying to, get some shit together, build a name for yourself, build your brand. You get robbed. And then we have to drive 3,000 fucking kilometers.
In Canada.
back
All the
here.
way across Europe.
Through Bulgaria.
You haven't seen any of Europe. You've seen 4 days of Turkey and then a month of a Euro park here in the Netherlands.
Yeah. And just a blur of random countries like Bulgaria.
We had to do overnights through Bulgaria.
Albania.
We've done Tirana,
stayed-
Albania. No, we're not with you, but just with
Right,
us. Where else did we go? And Frankfurt, I think, and Austria.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vienna.
Vienna was
nice.
beautiful, though.
I really liked that. It was
You saw
like
that?
4 or 5 days of that. It was nice.
Yeah. But
Yeah, that is basically what has happened. I finished uni and I decided, you know what? Now's the time to go out and just experience new things, try new things. Like I've got a platform. I love taking photos,
Yeah,
and I have you boys as well.
of
So
course.
like, and I miss you guys as well. Like I haven't
Fucking missed you too.
I haven't seen Mike in over like close to a year at that point.
Yeah,
Right? And
yeah,
then
that was-
Liam as well. I haven't seen him since February, the start of the year. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking do it. I need to come join you guys in Europe. So I booked tickets. I left.
Legendary.
Came to Turkey. And yeah, I got robbed. Had all my shit stolen. And what was even worse was I can understand, like, I'm fine with the computer being stolen because it's just a tool. But hard drives and SSDs, that has all of my content on it. And I had a video so close to being ready.
Yeah, I know.
The next day, I was going to color grade it, do some final adjustments, and I was probably going to post it. But that all got stolen. And it was a cool video as well. I filmed
I never
really
even
cool.
saw it as well.
It wasn't even just a normal YouTube vlog. Like, you put how many hours
I put
it?
a lot of effort into like figuring out what shots I wanted and like really planning it out. And I got Toby as well to help me out in my house to film all the shots that I needed to film, make it really cool and cinematic and shit, right? And then all of that, boom, gone, stolen. And obviously, like, stuff like that has no worth to a robber as well. That has no monetary value. It's only sentimental.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the hardest thing to lose, I reckon, when you do get robbed.
Yeah.
So
the positive of that, at least, you know, it's your knowledge. You know how to make that video.
Yeah.
You made that video. You know how to do it. You can do it again. Obviously, it'll never be the same as the first version, but it doesn't mean you learnt things in the process of doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I know it's like such a cop-out positive way to look at something, but at least you know it's knowledge. It's your knowledge.
That is true. Yeah, and I'm glad I still like at least try to make the video as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think I still have the script on my phone. Actually, thinking back at it now.
I know it's hard to get motivation to do something. Like, I've had projects before when I first starting out with YouTube, and like things didn't auto save or something, and I've lost like entire projects, or accidentally formatted an SD and lost like fucking everything. Like, and it's so much brutal motivation to try and do it again.
Yeah.
But if you ever decide to do it again, you could do it better.
Do you reckon you will? Do you reckon you're going to redo that video?
It's hard because the video was based upon time frame. Yeah. So the idea behind that video was it was almost a mini documentary / cinematography thingy, but that's a fucking terrible way to describe it. Basically, the idea was it was me traveling to Europe. That was the storyline, but it was also talking about the moments leading up to that. So how how I felt during COVID, how I felt after COVID, how one of the times you guys like left the country to go do what you need to do, and me being left alone in Australia, and what I did by myself basically in Australia during that period.
I would have loved to have seen that.
And then talking about the motivation of coming to Europe, what I wanted to achieve in Europe, and the sort of goals and ideas I had for my videos. And so it was a lot. It was a lot of content, like in terms of like my own personal, very sentimental thoughts put into that one video, and
it's gone.
Yeah,
Turkish Robber has it now.
Turkish Robber does.
Maybe he'll finish it for you. He'll upload it for you.
That'll be great.
Imagine he edits it. He does his own intro and outro. He just makes
it. Hi, I'm Turkish Robber. Stole this computer from Limon.
That's it.
And he rolls all the clips.
Roll the clip.
Roll the intro.
Yeah.
Who used to say that?
I have no idea.
That was from somewhere though, wasn't it?
Roll the intro.
No, I don't know.
Pretty much every YouTuber.
Really? Yeah, probably.
Back in the day. But yeah,
probably.
That fucking sucks. But yeah, how are you feeling being here now after you've been back in the Netherlands for a bit?
Yeah, I mean, I do feel better. I feel like I've sort of stabilized a little bit because it's not like I'm going out and constantly traveling as well, or like it's not like I'm changing location every week. I'm staying in one place for 3 weeks at a time, these Euro parks, and it's nice. Like it's different from what I imagined it to be before in Australia, like before coming here. But I think this is actually probably what I needed the most. A bit more stability to be able to just go through and just chip away at what I need to do. So whether it be planning future shoots or editing, or even more recently actually just learning more about like creating stories and even editing as well. Like I've gotten really into color correction recently, and like learning how, like, what makes like a film, if that makes sense. True. And because I would love to bring elements of cinematography and even like film photography into my work and my art that I create, because I find that like interesting at the moment. Yeah. How this technology, now that it's hard to get because it's so old, I'm trying to almost recreate it digitally, and like that's been like a fun challenge for me to do as well. So I've been learning that, just taking it a bit slower, and it's
And
been,
DaVinci, you've been learning DaVinci as well.
and with that, that's why I've been learning DaVinci, so I can utilize all the stuff in DaVinci to help create cooler videos.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's sick.
so I'm excited to, and like I've got the R8 shoot planned as well.
Oh, that's going to be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
So that's
That'd be
something
cool.
I'm keen to do.
I was really
as well.
excited to show you that car.
Yeah, that's a
Fucking
fucking
okay.
cool
The
car.
R8 is not okay.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah.
It is genuinely the loudest and nicest sounding car I've ever heard.
Especially through the tunnels.
Yeah.
It's definitely the most engaging car I've ever driven in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. The feeling I get driving that car is insane. Like,
Speaking of, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
How you been feeling?
Yeah.
How have you been feeling?
good.
Good
like,
segue. I like
That
that.
was a fucking
that was
segue.
actually a
I
good
like that.
segue.
Yeah.
It's like,
I know. It could
and
be
then you
better.
get up on a Segway and then you leave.
Yeah. Yeah. How you been feeling?
No, good. We've been gymming 6 days a week, so we're actually getting swole. Me and Liam, we're getting fucking massive. No, we're not. We're not massive. No, we're fucking
Little
fatties. No, we've been gymming and like cooking our own food, which has been nice and wholesome. Making content. We're working on a website at the moment for the V3 presets. They may or may not be out by the time this podcast gets released, but whatever. I don't even know when we plan
No,
to
we'll
release it.
smash this podcast out.
Yeah, I'll
All
try
right.
and
Well,
get
we're
as
working on
soon as possible.
V3 presets, which they've been in the works for. Mine have been in the works for like almost 2 years, I think. Like I've been working on really good presets, and I was so lucky as well with the robber that came in and took my computer because, actually Chris saved me on this. I had sent like a draft version of my V3s like a couple weeks before Turkish robber came and took my computer.
Yeah.
So I lost like a few presets, but I had a zip file I'd already sent to Chris, and I'm like, Chris, can you send that back to me? That's the last version I have,
wow.
the most latest version I have of my presets. So I could have lost like all of that. So back up your work,
Yeah.
kids.
Yep.
Um,
Long story short, send it to Chris.
yeah,
Send
send
all your
everything
presets.
to Chris.
All
Here's
your
his email.
files to him.
Send everything.
Everyone, this is Chris's email. Just send all your shit to him and he'll back it up.
This
for
is his
you.
house address. This is his phone number. This is his email.
Yeah, we
You
just
just
put it up.
dox him.
Boom, boom,
Fuck
boom.
Dropbox.
Yeah.
Fuck
Send it
cloud
to
storage.
Chris.
Just send it to Chris.
Yeah.
No, but I've been feeling good. Like it's nice. I think we've done a lot of traveling now. I sort of wanted to get that out of my system after COVID, to drive around and do that and make content again. And yeah, but I've realized it's not about trying to do everything or do the most crazy shit. It's not about that. It's just about being grounded, doing something you love with your mates, and realizing that's
Building consistency.
consistency and stuff, and realizing that's like what's actually going to help you grow.
Yeah.
Not trying to always do the most crazy shit.
Like Mr. Beast fucking. I
Yeah,
bought
like bro, you're not
100
Mr. Beast. Shut up.
yeah,
Like,
that's
just
true.
shut up. You're just not Mr. Just shut the fuck up. Like, you shit. You fucking shit.
Bro, you're not Sam Calder. Shut
Yeah,
up.
you're not Sam Calder. You can use as many fucking whooshes. You're not Sam Calder.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off. Just
Oh,
fuck.
I wish I could say that to a few people. Anyway,
no.
no, it doesn't matter. Yeah, like, well, settle down, bro. I'm getting nauseous.
Yeah, legit. That's how I feel sometimes when I watch those edits. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm about to throw up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Vomiting sound effect.
They're just cool transition, and that's it. That's all it is. There's no story behind it. If you don't have a good story to back up your cool fucking whip transitions, then it's fucking shit video.
Hayden
hey?
Pedersen. No, I'm kidding.
No.
He makes the best story.
Hayden's the best.
If anything, Hayden's the opposite.
Yeah, no. Hayden used to love a good whoosh transition. I used to love a good whoosh transition. I brought him back recently as well. I think I might bring him back again.
Bring back the whoosh. Hashtag.
And with that transition, how are you feeling? Like,
Hey, that's my fucking job to do the segues.
no, that wasn't a segue. It was a transition.
Oh, sorry. You can do the
different.
transitions. I'll
you
do the
do-
segues. You do the transitions. What are you doing?
I do the intros and outros.
Yes, that is true.
Okay.
All right. I have been feeling fucking shit. No, I have been feeling pretty shit the past year. Just like for another number of personal reasons after I broke my back as well.
Yeah.
That was like fucking depression, like my darkest point, like
Yeah.
mentally and physically, because I was in pain. Like I was watching old videos even like the other day on my iPhone, just like about my back, and I realized I was on heavy painkillers for my back.
True,
And,
I
like,
forgot about that.
They had side effects. Like the painkillers would make me feel like fucking just shit. Like I'd get headaches.
Yeah,
I couldn't sleep.
yeah, I remember that.
Because
Yeah,
I'd just take them all the time because the pain was just so fucked. But that was like one stage of my life. But I feel like, especially since we've been back in the Netherlands, like I've been feeling really good, like mentally, because we've been in the gym. And like, obviously the past 2 months, the boys and I have been traveling, but like I haven't been enjoying it because like I enjoy parts of it, but the majority of the time, like if you don't have a good mental headspace, it literally doesn't matter where you are. You could be like on the top of the fucking Burj Khalifa, like in the coolest city in the world, and you just won't enjoy it.
yeah, especially if
yeah.
you're feeling shit, and especially if you
Yeah.
have pain as well,
Yeah, if you have
which you were
pain,
experiencing.
back pain, I was
Stiffness
experiencing back
and-
pain like after being in the car for so long. Like that was hard, but like you realize, like I didn't realize before going on that road trip that I was going to feel like that. And like you learn, like you feel like shit, and then you sort of assess and you're like, okay, why am I feeling like shit? Like I need to fix this because it's not good.
Yeah,
And then you go, okay, I need a routine. I need to fix my back. I need to fix my mental health. So I've been going to the gym like 6 times a week with you. I'm speaking to a psychologist like once a week, which has helped a lot.
yep.
Just through BetterHelp, the app. It's actually really good. we should get a sponsor.
That would actually be a
is.
great
That would
sponsor.
actually be a great
Yeah,
sponsor.
BetterHelp. Like if anyone watching is going through like mental struggles or anything, just definitely hop on this app, BetterHelp, speak to a psychologist, and they will definitely helps a lot. But
Yeah, not even sponsored.
not even sponsored.
Non-sponsored.
Just a plug because
'Cause
Fix
fuck
your
it.
health. It's
Fix your
good for
health. Like literally everything stems from that. Like since I've been back in the Netherlands, like the past 3 weeks of going to the gym, eating healthy, like not necessarily going to bed. Like we haven't really had a solid sleep schedule.
No, we're still
Let's
going to
be
bed
real.
like pretty
Yeah.
close to sunrise.
But it doesn't
Our-
matter
our
because as
sleep
long,
schedule's fucked.
as long as you're with your mates, you're eating well, going exercising, and your mental health is good, like that spills out onto everything in life. Like when I had like really poor mental health, I couldn't, like the thought of making a YouTube video.
You couldn't think about tomorrow.
No, literally.
Couldn't think about today.
It's just so hard. So when you have great mental health, going out on a photo shoot, getting into the creative flow is so much easier, and it's so much more fun. So right now I'm in a good headspace. I've been loving just life here in the Netherlands, pretty much having
Yeah.
a routine,
Yeah, it's been sick.
Yeah, that's good.
living with the boys. But yeah,
It's been fun.
Keen to be with Haydos again.
Yeah. We go to Toronto in 6 weeks. We're going to see him.
I know.
I'm
Fuck.
so excited.
Yeah.
And we do a photo battle with him tomorrow morning. We're still
True.
doing the
Yes.
international photo battles, which
Yeah.
the audience, you, have actually taken really well. We didn't realize that that's actually a thing we've wanted to do for a long time,
Yeah.
but we just don't do the intros and outros together. And we're like, oh, it's a bit weird, but we still really enjoyed doing it.
Yeah.
So
It works well as well. The international photo battle.
yeah. However, tomorrow is so brutally unfair for Hayden and more or less Chris, because Chris is actually in Vienna doing some personal miso shit. He actually met a girl.
stuff.
That's for him to talk about though.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he's in Vienna by himself. Hayden's in Vegas right now with his dad, and I think he's met up with some other photographers there.
So he's got somewhat of a team, Hayden.
I think he's got some sort of.
He's got
Hayden's got
one
a
or two
team.
friends.
He's got a
that bullies
bootleg
over
version of us. Nah, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But we obviously have all of each other and Faye joining us as well. So there's 4 of us. We're all photographers. We're all creatives. We all work very well under like photo battle sort of pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done these before, so we know
Yeah,
how
we
the rules
know,
work.
and we
You know what's
we
funny
have.
as well? Chris doesn't even know the rules probably because he's only been in like 1 or 2.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He's fucked it.
Yesterday he was
It's-
like, "So, do we take 4 photos?"
Oh, I had a convo with him. We had a voice call with
Yeah.
everyone. And I was like to Hayden and Chris, and it's basically just a battle between you guys because
Yeah.
it's like so unfair.
And we can
It's
say
not
this
okay.
now because by the time this podcast comes out, we will have already filmed the photo battle.
We've
Yes.
already won.
Yeah.
We have been planning the shots for this photo battle like the past 2 days to a week. Like we've
Yeah.
gone out location scouting.
We've got outfits.
Outfits.
We've got locations now. We've got pretty ideal conditions, and we've got compositions set. Like we've gone and taken, like scouted the areas and stuff.
We've
Like
pretty
it's
much
so
taken
unfair.
the photos. We've already taken the photos
It
in
just-
our head.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And now we
So
just got to go and do
it's
it.
so unfair.
Yeah,
like
it's
it's so
not
brutally
okay.
unfair. But
Yeah.
anyway, not
And-
my fucking
Not my problem.
Yeah.
Sorry.
One of the rules as well is you can't even use Lightroom. You can only use Photoshop.
Yeah, why is that a rule?
Hayden called us up middle of the night.
He
goes,
just made it better for us.
I
Honestly.
know, yeah. He called us up. He's like, "Boys, I got a rule for us. It's gonna be really hard. You can't use Lightroom." And we're all just like sitting there, like, so what are we gonna use? And he goes, "Oh, we have to only edit."
Oops, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Fuck. Oh, speaking of the devil, but
Is that Hayden?
probably.
We'll
call him back
We'll call
later.
later.
He's
You know-
like, "No,
you
we
know what
can't use Photoshop
You know
anymore."
what you should do next time? This does have the capability to connect to the phone and receive a call.
Oh, really?
We can do that actually, but I still need to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, sick.
So,
We'll do it next time.
We can do that for future.
All right, that sounds
Yeah.
good.
But yeah,
But basically, photo battle happening tomorrow. The only brutal part about it is that we have to get up at 5 a.m. and we've basically been going to bed at 3 most
Yeah.
nights. So that's sort of
Yeah.
fat L, but whatever.
fucking she'll be right.
No, we just have to try and fail.
But yeah, photo battle. We got Toronto coming up, so we'll all be together, all the boys. And Faye's actually joining us. So it's going to be like, and Joey Garcia.
Joey Garcia,
I don't know if
keyboard
you
seen him in
remember him.
ages.
Yeah, he's a sick cunt. Fuck, I can say that.
We
word.
can
Yeah,
say-
whatever.
we
It's a
can
fucking
say-
podcast at this
podcast.
point. Anyway, we've basically been using this year as like for us to all get the band back together. Like it was never really split up, but we all just got a bit fucked from COVID and stuff, and that was a very difficult time for all of us. We've pushed past it. We've gotten through it. We're back like all together. It's a big reunion in Toronto that's going to happen soon. And then we go to LA and then back to Australia for a bit.
And then pretty much resume life back in Australia.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah.
to what it was. So
It's going to be sick. It's going to be fucking skits,
so
mate.
much fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Keen for it.
Yeah. So
That's good. How long have we been going for?
37 minutes. But yeah, it's been good being here. What else? This is what you call not planning a podcast.
Yeah.
No, but it's all right. It's fun to just talk shit.
Talk shit.
Yeah.
What else can we talk shit about? I
I'm
miss
sure
my
we have some
fucking cars.
fucking stupid shit. Yeah,
I miss my cars
I
back
miss
in
my cars.
Australia. I miss my Chaser that fucking goes.
I miss Travi.
Travi.
Travi's fun to drive.
You know,
This
Limon, we
is-
actually figured out that Limon owned Travi for longer than I owned Travi because
Yeah.
whenever I bought that car in May, but by the time I modified it and actually made it look good, I only enjoyed that car for like until August.
Couple months.
So 7 months.
Yeah.
And then Limon drove it for like the rest of the time. So 12 months or whatever. like that.
Yeah, 9,
So does that mean
No,
it's
longer.
Lamon's car?
10 months, 11 months or something.
10 months.
Basically, it's Limon's
Yeah.
car now. I'd have to buy another Travi. Oh, no.
Oh, damn,
Oh,
Andre Travi.
what a shame.
Yeah.
Oh,
we,
no.
I'm trying to have a look about like if there's anything that's specifically funny that we did.
I got a funny story. I don't know if we should wait for Chris for this one. Should we just tell?
tell
Yeah,
it, whatever.
fucking
Just tell it,
whatever.
whatever.
We got plenty of stories. But so essentially, about 2 months ago or 3 months ago, when we were still in the Netherlands, we were staying at this like accommodation that we're staying at. We're all living together, and Chris is like over the past couple of years has been taking care of his skin, like his acne. He's been like doing a lot of like skincare stuff, and one day he goes and buys a like brand new moisturizer for his skin, and it's like apparently a really good one. And he started using that moisturizer for like 1 day, 2 days, and like it was really good. But because of the medication he was on, it was making his skin really dry. Like his skin was flaking and stuff. And I was like, bro, you okay? Like your skin, like it's like evidently like literally
it was
white
fucked. He
skin.
literally looked like a fish, like
It was
scaled fish.
And we were like, dude, are you okay? Maybe put more of the moisturizer on. So comes to day 5, he's in the bathroom looking in the mirror.
His face is fucked.
His face is fucked at this point, and he's putting his new moisturizer on, and I go, yo, bro, can I please have some of that moisturizer? Because I wanted to just moisturize my face.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, sure. He hands me this fucking big bottle. and I'm
1
like,
liter bottle.
1 liter bottle. I'll look at it for like 1 second, and in big blue letters it says body wash. So for a week, he's been putting this body wash on his face, like going to bed with it, and it's been drying out his face. Sorry, Chris, if you didn't want me to tell this, but I'm sorry. I got to tell. It's so funny.
It was
a funny
pretty
story.
funny. It was pretty funny. I remember Chris walking out. He was fully covered in dead skin on his face. And he's like, boys, my moisturizer doesn't work. And then we figured out he's using body wash.
Going to bed with body wash on his face and letting that dry out.
Sorry, Chris. You live and you learn, but
Yeah.
we keep telling this story to
Yeah,
everyone.
no, I'm not stopping telling this story until I die, honestly.
That's right. He's probably got some shit on us as well.
He's
So
definitely got some shit on us.
it's all good. We're going to cop that.
What else?
What else?
I think of stories on the spot.
Stories.
It's always
It was
quickly.
funny, because I was setting up the podcast stuff today, right? And I was going through the Gmail account for this podcast. By the way, you can send questions or anything.
Oh,
that
we
you
should
want to
so
talk
do
about,
that.
subjects to that email as well. It's betweentheframespodcast@gmail.com.
We will
Yeah.
give you the worst advice, by the way. So if you do send something there, just be prepared to not take that advice.
How about send in photography questions that you want advice about, or give us your worst photography story. Just
worst
anything you want us to
photography
talk
experience. That
about
sounds
on this podcast.
And
What
we'll share
should
at
we
the
pick
end.
one? Let's pick one. What should we ask people to send in?
Should send in, like something you want advice about. It doesn't even have to actually be that photography related. It could be creative related, or it could actually be life related as well.
Yeah,
I
like
think anything,
relationship,
just
anything.
advice.
Advice.
Yeah.
But as a disclaimer, we are like the biggest idiots, so don't always take this advice. But
is
we
not-
want to talk about your stories, basically.
Yeah, basically.
What hardships are you going through? That's what we want to share on our podcast. So send that through to this email. What's the email called, actually?
Betweentheframespodcast@gmail.com, fully spelt out. Very long email address.
Fuck them.
But actually, I might need to double check that. It might just be between the frames. Anyway,
Oh,
no,
mate,
never
you
mind. Let me just.
Jesus Christ.
How does anyone even listen to our podcast?
I don't know. This is like we haven't done one in like 2
I know.
years.
Maybe no one
I'm
actually.
So
We
rusty.
probably won't get a
no,
single
no.
email.
It's betweentheframespodcast@gmail.com.
Okay, yes, I was correct the first time.
So yeah.
Betweentheframespodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Send us through your questions if you want advice on it. Can be whatever.
Going back to what I was saying, I was actually going through that email and I saw this one guy. He emailed us in like 2020. Like this is how long we haven't done a podcast for, right? But he says like, he wrote in the email, like, I watched your name video.
Oh
and
yeah.
it was really awesome. So me and a friend, a female friend that I was friends with, we decided we wanted to go watch it together, because we found it so interesting. Like we found your video so interesting, so we wanted to watch the actual movie, right? And they watched it, and they said that after some time they actually became a couple.
What?
Like, and they're still going strong.
Oh yeah, I've got the email here.
Yeah.
He goes, "Hey guys, loving the podcast. I've been watching it since you started it. I saw Limon's Your Name at it, which was insane. That really made me want to see the film. So about 2 months ago, me and this girl who I was friends with at the time watched the film together. It was a great film. And that same day we started dating. We are still together now. Thought I'd tell you guys this story because I thought it was cool. That is so cool.
That is cool.
The same day. So
Dude, my man is
That's pretty cool.
smooth. He's like, yeah, we should watch this YouTube video, Limon Fan. And he's like, yeah, I love this Your Name. And that movie is all about like love.
It's all about love. It's a very thought provoking
Mate,
film.
Very smooth, bro. Well done.
Yeah. Let us know. Send us a DM. Are you still together?
Are you still
Yeah,
with
let
her?
us-
We'll talk
hopefully.
about it on the next podcast.
But yeah, send through your photography stories to betweentheframespodcast@gmail.com or anything you want, relationship advice, even though I'm single as fuck. I'll still give it to you. And do you guys want to end the podcast there?
Yes.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yes.
End it
Yes.
there.
I'm like, wait, do you guys? Yes.
Yes.
Anything, yes.
Please,
let me end it.
All right, Lamont, do the
Yes.
Do
outro.
the outro.
I forgot how I used to do it, but anyway, thank you everyone who has been watching or listening to this podcast. We all really appreciate it.
If you listen to this whole podcast on Stitcher, I'm coming to your house right now.
I'm gonna bash you. I'm gonna
If you listen to
fucking
Stitcher,
bash
I'll
you.
come and
I'll come with
stitch you
Turkish
up.
rubber. We're going to take everything from you. Okay, no Stitcher accounts allowed.
Stitcher.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What even is? I just looked up Stitcher. It just looks fucked. Like, look at this. What
yeah,
is
the
that?
logo's pretty how you going, hey?
Mate, the logo just looks like bloody a bar chart.
it looks
in
like Clipper.
It looks like the column bar and
Monthly cost $5. Get fucked, mate. Actually, it's pretty cheap.
It's very cheap.
Spotify's
Cheaper than
like
Spotify.
12.
Actually,
Yeah.
boys, let's move to Stitcher.
All right, boys, we're moving to Stitcher.
All right, so basically we're moving to Stitcher, boys. This video is actually sponsored by...
imagine. Oh my god.
That's how you do it with sponsorship.
Actually, before we end it, what is the worst sponsorship deal you've done?
Oh,
If you've done
Deal
any.
of
I did
dark.
one for this company, I can't even remember what it was called, but it was essentially like, it was the most fakest, not fake company, but like, I had to just put on this act for my Instagram story.
I think I remember this.
It was like,
the car park,
yeah,
right?
it was like the only time I've ever done this. I never did it again. And I was like, hey guys, if you shop with this bloody app, you get like half price on shit. And it was just some random shit. And they paid me like $500 and I just regretted it after. And I've never done that shit again.
Yeah, that's literally how I feel about every sponsorship email I get. It's like I read it and after I've read the email, I feel regrets. So I'm not going to like go on and make a whole video about it. But I can't say the name of the channel that we were a part of, but I definitely regret being part of a YouTube team that happened.
Yeah.
That was definitely, but it was also an experience.
Yeah.
That was the worst sponsorship I've ever done.
How about you?
How about me? I didn't actually go through with this sponsor, but I got approached by a watch company, and they were like, "Hey, we should do this and that, right?" And then I was looking at their watches, and I was like, something about it just doesn't look quite right. Like they like brand themselves as like luxury watches, like they're doing cool stuff with like cutting out the middleman. You know how that whole spiel about like making sure you keep the costs down, so you can give luxury products to at a cheaper price and shit, right? I was just looking at it, I'm like, this just doesn't seem right. So I searched up a review on these watches, and everyone on YouTube was just shitting on this company, saying how terrible
that
the
actually
build
happened to me
quality
recently.
watches.
But with the underwater drone. Do you remember I got that email?
Yes. You know, look,
Did you get approached by them?
I got approached by them as
The
well.
underwater drone company?
Yeah, like I had to dig deep through my emails, and I figured out like they sent it to me. I just didn't even get it. I think it went straight to spam, to be honest.
My God. I don't even know how this
it
ended up in
was
my
not
inbox,
okay.
but basically this, like drone company, I can't even remember what it was called, but they sell an underwater, it's not even a drone, doesn't even fly. It's like basically a toy submarine. Is what they said. Get your fucking toy submarine. It was like $1,000 as well, but they were willing to send this basically, submarine, remote control submarine
With
to
a
me.
little shitty camera on
Yeah,
it.
with a little fucking pixel camera on it, Nokia
Worse than
camera.
a GoPro. Worse than a GoPro.
Well, definitely worse than a GoPro. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, I guess it looks kind of cool. And I watch a review of this guy puts it in the ocean, and he's like battling. He's actually spending more time battling the rip in the ocean, trying to, control this little submarine drone thing. And he's too busy. It's like a POV footage of him trying to he's like freaking out because he's about to lose this thing. Takes no pictures, and the whole video is just basically blue, and you can't see shit. And I look at the reviews of it as well, of this underwater fucking drone thing or whatever. You guys looking at me funny?
He's eating a pickle.
Can you hear me eating the pickle?
Not really.
A little bit, but not very.
Oh, go on then.
All right.
It's
a fucking good pickle. Sorry.
pickle.
No, basically that was it. Every review was like...
So sponsorships, definitely hit us up. We'll
Sponsors-
definitely consider it.
We'll say a very accurate description of your brand.
Yeah, but in all honesty, though, like for this podcast, I would mind some sponsorships, especially for stuff like BetterHelp and stuff that we actually care about.
Exactly.
If anyone's listening to this and
They want to reach out.
then definitely do that. We're definitely on board
open.
for that. Yeah.
Sponsor me, daddy. Fucking...
Sponsor me or fuck me.
Please, I need money.
I don't know. Should we just fucking end this shit? I
Yeah,
need
we
to take
should
a
end it.
shit.
Yeah. Okay,
Alright.
fair enough. I can't do shit too.
Thanks for listening, and anything you want to plug?
Yes, I want to plug the fact that I'm about to take a shit. So goodbye.
Yeah.
See ya.
You can leave first. Okay, goodbye.
Buy my fucking free.
Buy my presets. limonfan.com/presets.
Buy
Please
Limon's
them.
presets. They're really fucking good.
They are very fun presets to use. I've forgotten how to edit naturally because I've been using the presets too much. That's what's happened. That's about it.
That's about it,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Listen-
More stories. We're going to do this weekly, fortnightly,
We'll
monthly,
try our best to do
yearly.
this weekly.
We have been doing yearly uploads on between.
That is true. Yeah, yearly uploads. That is what has been happening.
So we're planning to do bi-annually, twice a year, maybe. I think
Look,
we're going to aim for.
let's try for weekly, but let's just try weekly first. I don't know if we'll hit that goal, but let's just
Basically,
give it a
you
shot.
see them. These are come out when they come out, and
That
you
is
fucking
true.
listen to them, and it's a grand old time. And we have
Yeah.
proper podcasting equipment, not Osmo and
Not
the
Osmo
fucking
as in
Rode
GoPro.
mics from our vlog setups we talk into.
Oh, yeah, just speaking straight into the camera, like
Whatever we
holding
do.
it
Yeah.
slowly to our faces. Just,
Yeah, that was terrible. Anyway,
it's pretty dumb. Yeah.
that was the longest outro ever.
That is
Like
the
we
longest
started that
outro. It's
outro
not
like
okay.
15 minutes ago.
I've tried to like end the podcast like 4 times already now.
I know.
Okay,
we suck at it.
let me just end it. So thank you for listening to this podcast. We all really appreciate it. If you want to go subscribe to our channel, please go do that. We're on a whole bunch of platforms, as I've said in the start. Stitch.
Stitch is just a meme.
we're on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Alexa, Stitcher, and most importantly Spotify. So please go check us out on those platforms as well, if you haven't already. And I wish you all a great day/night. So see you everyone. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.